Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Detroit Tigers series. So this episode, we're going to be doing a lot of simming and checking in with everybody. We might play one game. We'll jump in a couple times, but today, my goal is to get to the MLB Draft. Right now, we have our scouts set up like this. We're on full blast. We have a lot of starting pitchers from the East and International, about halfway to 75% scouted. And then we have one scout who's focusing on position players. So we'll just sim week by week and everything like that. So it's another day to set our rosters, and we have this guy not even ranked. Juan Chavez, we are dodging a bullet with you, my friend. We for sure need people. Like, I like how we have Milo Good. He's going to be a solid guy, but it's just, there's not a lot of good later picks in this draft when it comes to, like, position players. Like, we just don't have a chance with a lot of these guys because of where we pick at 27. We could have a chance with Tejada over here, but, like, really, what's the point in getting another center fielder, right? So I've been really thinking about Freddie James. If he comes out of the draft ready, this could be crazy for us. Doesn't have a secondary position that we know of yet. We're going to scout him up for a little bit here. And if we look at scouted pitchers, we do have a lot. We have Grover over here, Rob Hay, Ron Morrison. There's a lot of guys who we've almost pretty much fully scouted, especially a lot of guys who the MLB doesn't have ranked and we do. We're trying to find guys who could help us sooner rather than later, because we're getting a little deeper into these playoff pushes now. Ooh, okay, so Freddie James is looking a little interesting here. Not a big power guy, vision and discipline, the plate skills there are going to be pretty solid. We like his contact skills. Glove is going to be fine enough, but that stealing and speed could be really good. It has been a very rough start to the month of July. We have dropped 4 straight. We split 2 out of 4 against the A's, and now we are playing San Francisco, and we have dropped 2 straight. So Scubal's on the mound today, and we're definitely going to be jumping into this game. But this has big importance because I'm pretty sure this is the last day before the draft. The draft is in 6 days. Or this is the last chance to scout before the draft. And the draft is in 6 days, so I'm a little scared because we haven't really found a second baseman that I like. I like this guy's potential to hit the ball, but I don't really know about him being a fielder. I mean, it's insane just the... I think I fumbled this year's draft, maybe, because I took so much time off between episodes. There's just a lot of question marks in this draft. So here's the final prospects that we are going to be scouting before the draft. Right after this, it should cut to the draft because I am just so excited to get into this. And then we'll play some games in the month of July after the draft. Before we head to the draft, I want to show you a quick little all-star voting thing. Scuball leads starting pitchers. Carpenter leads right fielders. You know who else is a right fielder in the American League? Yeah, Aaron Judge. He's leading Aaron Judge in all-star votes. And Riley Green is leading in left field. Pretty soon, we'll have Carpenter, Max Clark, and Riley Green out in the outfield. Green's beating Jordan Alvarez. He's beating Wyatt Langford. He's having just such a good year on paper right now for us. Green started slow, right? But he has been the most consistent player for this team ever since then. It is draft time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this. Let's take our time. Let's have a fun draft. Going number 1 overall to the Chicago White Sox is Ray Bird, the right fielder. He was look at that, man. He was projected to be the 48th round pick. He was projected to be the 48th overall pick. Who's going number 2? Oliver Oda. Wow. He's projected to go number 3, and he falls to 2, or he jumps to 2 technically. We thought he was the number 1 player in the draft, but we didn't have a chance at getting Oliver. And now the number 3 overall pick to the A's is Peter Kah. Wow, I can't wait to check in on him. This guy could be a stud. I'm excited to check in on him. Who's going to the Padres? They went with Rafael Meza. He's also a potential, like, star in this league. I'm gonna look at the first, maybe 10 picks. Coleman Bernstein's going somewhere. Wow, we had him scouted too. Oh, that sucks. I thought he would fall. And then Milo Good's off our board too. No. Oh, we might have to go with Oh, no. We might have to go with Grover. Okay, it doesn't look like a single catcher was taken. I mean, who do we even go with at this point now? I don't want to reach and get Barack this early, especially because, I mean, he could be really good. If he comes out of the draft in the 70s, man, but the potential difference, I can't do that. And we can't, we could go for this closer right here. Rick Bacco? He could be a star closer. He could be ready next year. None of the position players we had scouted fell. I always feel like they get reached for so often. I feel like we have to get Barack here because he's not going to go to round 2 for us. And Bacco, he probably won't go to round 2 either. So it's, do we get a potential, you know, all-star closer? Or no, we can't get Barack because he's not. I don't like the potential difference. It's not worth it. So even at starting pitching right now, for some reason, a lot of our guys that we wanted completely went early. We're going to have to hope for a lot of drops because I'm going to go for the closer in the first round. I know that's insane to do, but I'm going for it. Rick Bacco. He could literally be our our opening day closer next year if we're lucky. We have Len Lopez here now who we could take. I don't know how much I trust it. 4-seam, 2-seam slider, changeup, or there's Abe Ortiz. Changeup, slider, the 12-6. 21 years old and isn't going to be ready, and I don't love these ratings here either. Now it's just debating who I trust more, and I think I would rather go with Ben Lopez or Len Lopez. I don't like his pitch mix a whole lot, but and what do you even do here? Brian Show, if he comes out with that hits per 9 is insane, by the way. Just what do we even do here now? A lot of our guys went off the board very early. I think we're going to go with Len. We're going to go with Len Lopez here. Pick 63 in the draft. Alfonso is still here, so we're going to go ahead and grab him now. It is 104. We're reaching for him a little bit, but we need to come out with at least somebody that's a position player. So Alfonso Moria. Or we could get Abe. I think we should just get Abe. You never know. Let's boost this farm system. Abe Ortiz. 125. We're getting him at 164. I feel like this is a pretty solid pick for us. Javier Cabrera. So we could just take a shot in the dark with William Tracy. And I think that's what we're going to do. William Tracy, welcome to Detroit. And look what time it is. It is All-Star game time. Turek Skubal is going to be on the mound. And we are definitely going to be jumping into this game. The All-Star Stadium is in Atlanta, but that was 2025. I like doing it randomized. So that's how I have fun with it. So we're just going to scroll here. I'm going to close my eyes. You have to just trust me that it's closed. Rogers Center for the All-Star game. I guess that's what we're doing. We stand on guard for All-Star game time. Here we go. It's our first time playing in the All-Star game. I think we obviously had an All-Star last year, but I handled last year's franchise season so horribly. I'm very excited to get into it right now. Look at that. There are 3 Detroit Tigers standing up there. I'm full of pride right now with that. And now we'll jump in with Riley Green. In on the hands, jammed me. And we're out. It's time to take over with Turek Skubal. Beautiful first pitch of the All-Star game. A dotted fastball. We'll see if he'll do it again. The 1-2. Chopped over to Lewis. He's there. 1 away. It's pretty exciting to me to watch Turek Skubal and Adley Rutschman as a duo right now. Because who knows? By this trade deadline, Adley might be a Tiger. Our offense needs some help heading into the playoffs. So does our pitching staff. But what's the position on the field that helps both of those? It's a catcher. And I think Adley Rutschman might be the answer to what we're searching for. We're obviously going to need to add another bullpen arm and maybe a starter. That ball's hit into the air for Riley Green. And he's there. Now Skubal will face Mookie Betts. We saw this last year, opening day. We faced the Dodgers. Oh, that one's hit deep into left field. Green's underneath it, and it's off of the wall. Rodriguez is going to be there, and it's a 2-out double for Mookie Betts off Turek Skubal. I absolutely love how these teams now in the All-Star game, or these players in the All-Star game, get to represent their team again. I did not like the dumb All-Star game uniforms. I loved it when they wore their team's uniforms, and I'm very happy we're back there. Because that's just, it just feels right, you know? Baseball has the best All-Star game in sports. I mean, anybody can agree to that. That one's lined up the middle, and it's not going to be caught. Rodriguez is there, and it's a single for Kyle Tucker as the National League scores first. The Dodgers 1-2 tandem of Betts and Kyle Tucker get to Tarek Skubal very early. Facing Ketel Marte now. 29 bombs on the year. And he's down 0-2. That's where one of those pitches. We'll hit them with that again. 0-2. Softly grounded over to Witt. Division rival there and thrown on to first. Side is finally retired. Probably Skubal's last inning in the All-Star game, as I do want to let other people's, All-Stars play in the game. I wouldn't mind keeping Green or Carpenter in long-term, though, as Carpenter hasn't really been able to play. The 1-1. Berger swallows that up. Runs over to first himself. Who are you most excited to see potentially be a Tiger? I'm very interested. Oh, Lindor just early on that one. He almost took Skubal a yard here. 0-2 coming in, and he's got him swinging. Nice bounce back inning so far. But I'm curious, who do you think we should target? What do you think we should target? Am I going a little overboard getting a catcher, potentially? I think our biggest needs right now are catching and pitching still. And that will retire the side. Berger will line out. Bregman will ground out. And Kerry Carpenter will finally get his first at-bat in this All-Star game. Our outfield's basically set. Carpenter, Green, two of the best center fielding prospects in baseball. Our infield is still, it's still shaky. I feel like Colt Keith and Bichette, kind of the only two guys there that are going to be long-term Tigers. Or that are going to see, the end of the deadline. Maybe Westberg, too, because he'll just be entering arbitration. And he does play good defense at third. And I would hate to see Torkelson not get a ring with us, as Carpenter's going to draw a walk. We'll stay in the game with Carpenter on first. Julio at the plate. I've never batted with Julio before. Julio's going to power that ball into center, but it looks to be playable. It is, and the side is retired. Gavin Stone in for the American League now. Nolan Arenado single. Yelich ground out. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up with a runner on second. Doubles, and the runner's thrown out at home. Betts will fly out, and now it's time for Riley Green, and he'll face Zach Eflin. That Diamondbacks team, I'm imagining it's got to be pretty good, right? Vladdy's over there at first. Eflin is an all-star. Finally, we get a pitch to hit, and it's lined out. Bobby Witt, solo home run, and he ties the game. Ground out by Lewis. Neto will ground out, and we're back flipping over. Max Fried will now be on the mound for the American League. Kyle Tucker ground out. Ketel Marte will strike out. Contreras will single. And Lindor will strike out. Zach Gallen, 2 All-Stars for the Diamondbacks against Adley Rutschman. Rutschman will ground out. Berger will ground out. Bregman walks. And Kerry Carpenter comes to the plate. He walked in his first at-bat. It's a tie game. This is a very close All-Star game. And we're just going to pop that one up into left field to retire the side. Division rival Royce Lewis at the plate. I feel like I do better when I sit further back from my monitor. Not too far back, but I just lean back a little bit with it. Oh, come on. Perfect timing. Let's go. Royce Lewis. RBI double. And the American League is on top. That's how you do it. Kerry Carpenter with Jeff Hoffman on the mound in his home stadium. Carpenter has a chance to ice this game. 2 on, 1 out here in the top 7. And we're just late on that fastball. Opposite field. And it's gone! Kerry Carpenter! 3-run shot in the All-Star game! Oh, and I'm sorry. Jeff Hoffman plays for the Mets now, not the Blue Jays still. A wall scraper, Oppo Popo. Doesn't matter. American League is up by even more. What a feeling to have. One of our Tigers having a 3-run shot in the All-Star game. Banging against that pool. And now it's Riley Green's time. 0 for 3 on the day. He struck out, popped out, lined out. He could get the out cycle here if he gets a ground out. We'll see what happens. Iglesias to Green on the way. There's no way I predicted that. There's no way I predicted Riley Green getting the out cycle right there. Set a 3-run home run in this game already. Top of the ninth, facing Edwin Diaz. That one's going to be lined into the gap. Is it going to get down? It will. Kerry Carpenter. He's going to bat in another run. It is a RBI double with 2 away here in the ninth. That's 4 RBIs on the day for Kerry Carpenter in this All-Star game. He is taking it over in a big way. And we'll jump in to get the last out against Michael Harris II. Here's another guy I've never actually used it in MLB The Show before, Josh Hader. So I like the All-Star game. You get to check on guys who never used before, as that one's lined into center, and the American League will take the All-Star game. Predominantly off the bat of Kerry Carpenter. The All-Star Game Player of the Game award will go to Kerry Carpenter. The win goes to Logan Gilbert, and the loss goes to Yusei Kikuchi. Carpenter went 2 for 3 with a home run, double, 4 RBIs. Bobby Witt Jr. went 1 for 3 with a home run and RBI. And Royce Lewis went 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI. It's our first chance to sign draft picks, so we're just going to throw some guys in here who we don't have fully scouted right here. And we're just going to, simulate these next 2 days. So it looks like we could be right about Abe Ortiz. So luckily, he's not going to be a C. And William Tracy could be a big miss. I'm scared about that. But we did take him in round 6. So since Len's at a 77, we're just going to offer him this basic amount, and he will sign with the Detroit Tigers. William Tracy, we're going to offer $228,000, and he will sign with the Detroit Tigers. Our first round pick, Rick Bacco, we're going to give him his slot. So it's 3.23. We're going to give him 3.24, and he will sign with the Detroit Tigers. Alfonso Moya, the first baseman we drafted, we will offer him $555,000, and he will also sign with the Detroit Tigers. Our shot in the dark, Javier Cabrera, not really a shot in the dark, but somebody who we highly doubted. We're going to offer him $294,000, and he will decline our offer, and we'll have to try again soon. Abe Ortiz, we will offer him $393,000, and he will sign with the Detroit Tigers. Ken Espinosa, this man could prove me very wrong. We are going to offer him $1.16 million, and Ken will sign with the Detroit Tigers. So we're going to review our trade block, and right now, I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple of names out there. Since Casey Mize is on, the 1-year deal, we're going to throw him on our block. Also, I didn't know Tyler Holton was an all-star this year. That's really cool. It's time to get into the trade deadline, guys. We have added all of our players to the block. We can view the block, and the best player is Jordan Westberg. I do throw up some guys who I'm not thinking about trading just as bait to see what the AI will offer us. And since it's about a week and a couple of days before the trade deadline, I just go ahead and I turn up that slider all of the way. And we are trying to get through this season, so we're going to sim most of the month of July again. The Giants have offered us a trade for Spencer Torkelson. They're offering us Keaton Wynn, who I'm going to say no to already because of the pitching clutch. And then Sir Anthony Dominguez, who is having a pretty good year, but for Spencer Torkelson, that's not happening. The Orioles will acquire Brenton Doyle and their playoff push, which I think is crazy because last time I checked, they're a little low. The Rockies are going to get 2 prospects, a 68 overall and a 67 overall. I think Arihoon is probably the better one here with a B potential. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to attempt to make another signing with Javier Cabrera, and he will sign with the Detroit Tigers. The Rockies are making us a very interesting trade. They are offering rookie sensation catcher Bobby Rarick, 18-year-old at 71 overall, for Jose Trevino, who's barely played for us this year. I don't understand why. I feel like I can't take this trade. They have Hunter Goodman, who's not having a great year. But do they know something about Bobby that we don't? Because Bobby looks like a great catcher, and he could be our answer. But I feel like this would be highway robbery. I don't think we can make this trade with the best interest. We're going to have to decline it, just because this logic makes no sense. The Rays, however, are offering me something very interesting. Monty Mont, a defensive liability third baseman who has great discipline, decent contact ratings, low power, but 22 years old, it could work. He's definitely going to be better against lefties. They're offering us him for Jose Trevino. And I mean, how could I say no? I know Bryceño isn't close to being ready yet, as he's still highly struggling at AAA, and we would have to trade for another backup catcher. But this is a very solid trade. I wish I could add stuff to it and get rid of some of our like third baseman depth because we have a lot that we don't need. It does look like they need a backup catcher right now, so we will accept this trade. Monty Mott, a third baseman with B potential for Jose Trevino. Our first trade from this deadline. Monty Mott has 81 potential, so he does have a lot of room to grow still, so I'm pretty happy about this one. The Yankees are offering us an immediate replacement for a backup catcher at Ronaldo Hernandez, but they want Steven Matz, and I'm gonna have to tell them to kick rocks. But 20 walks to 26 strikeouts, wow! Matz has been all over the place, but we're still gonna have to tell him to kick rocks. The Yankees are now offering us Ronaldo Hernandez for Alex Lange, and I'm gonna go ahead and make this trade because the walks per 9 is just far too low for that to ever play at the majors. I know in AAA it might be okay right now, but if we had him in the majors, this would not work at all. So I'm fine making this trade. We do get another backup catcher who does suck, but we do need some catching depth. We have officially reached the trade deadline, and we're 8 games back of first place. Our goal was to win this division this year, and I'm wondering how we're gonna get it done now. Because Job is even struggling now with a 4 ERA. Olsen has a 4 ERA. Harrison still has a 2, but remember he's getting lucky. And Mize has a high 3. We gotta somehow do better. Our bullpen is just not performing, really. Remember, Brisky sucks now. Matz is getting lucky. Clevenger's trash. Duvall's getting lucky, but he's also pitching pretty poorly this year. A 5 FIP now for Camilo Duvall. And Holton has raised his potential up to a B, which is great. But a high 2, or like a mid 2, but he should have a high 3. We have to make some moves this deadline. Something has to change. Because we can't just acquire nothing and expect, like, we're going to make the playoffs and what are we going to do? Are we just going to get 3 and out again? I'm going to start this with DFAing Javier Baez. And we will be calling up one of our draft picks from last year, Josh Gunter, who is having an insane year at the AAA system. He has forced my hand, and he is making his Major League debut soon. Josh Gunter, welcome to the show. And now we just something has to change. Like, look at this lineup. What do we do to make this lineup instantly better? What are we going to do? Who needs to go? I think it starts at the catching position, guys. I think we need to go out and acquire a catcher. So this is the first big trade at the deadline. We are going to be sending over Ty Madden, Kevin McGonigal, and Jace Jung to the Cincinnati Reds for Nick Lodolo and Tyler Stevenson. Ty Madden is actually a pretty solid pitcher, 72 overall, C potential, 26 years old. I feel like the Reds could do something with him. He's got good control, velo, break, and he's developing pretty solidly this year. He could be Major League ready by the time he's 27, 28, which is the age that Casey Mize is right now, but they would have him a lot longer. I wanted to send the Mize, but he's only on a 1-year deal, so it doesn't really make sense because the Reds aren't going to be able to do anything with him after the end of the year. And then we're going to be sending them Jace Jung because he's playing great in the minor leagues right now. Maybe the slugging isn't high, but he's getting on base a lot at a 378. And they need it right now because their entire, third base area is pretty much nobody who has any offensive prowess besides Noelvi Marte. And they're not really trusting him because he's struggling a lot right now, and they even sent him down. And then Jeimer Candelario is just utter trash. It makes sense why they would acquire a 25-year-old who has a very high upside offensively and who isn't terrible at defense yet. And the big piece they're getting back in this trade is Kevin McGonigal. We are kind of depleting our farm system a little bit, but hopefully next draft we can get it back up there. McGonigal is struggling in the minor leagues for us this year in AAA, but he was having a really good year in AA earlier. So I feel like this is a pretty fair trade, and we are getting 2 birds with 1 stone for us. We are acquiring Nick Lodolo and Tyler Stevenson. Nick Lodolo is instantly our number 2 starting pitcher, and obviously Tyler Stevenson is much better than Jake Rogers. I felt like it was more of a fair trade for us too, because Stevenson is technically a rental, and he's a free agent at the end of the year. And we are going to be acquiring Colin Holderman of the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're sending over Bo Brisky and Elizer Alfonso. Kind of like not a big, huge deal. The Pirates really can't afford to keep Colin Holderman on roster much longer, as he is hitting the next 2 years of arbitration, and he's having a great year, so he's going to be getting more and more expensive. So we are going to be acquiring Colin Holderman, and we're sending them 26-year-old catcher Elizer Alfonso, who is a great glove-first catcher for them, and Bo Brisky, who they can get on the cheap, and maybe they'll be able to turn him around as many of their relievers are having great years. And we have a more unique trade coming up because this is definitely a salary dump of sorts, so let me explain it. The Rangers are currently in the hunt. They're actually tied with us for the American League wildcard, right? If you look in the West, they're almost fighting for first place. I would rather them win first place than completely destroy us for the wild card because there's some other teams down here who are in the hunt behind us. I tried to acquire Adley Rutschman, didn't work. That's why we won Tyler Stevenson. So, with this trade with the Rangers, we would be acquiring 37-year-old Jacob deGrom for reasons, let me explain it. 28-year-old Cole Sands and left fielder Evan Carter. Evan Carter has yet to fully break out with the Rangers. He is having a 776 OPS, which is pretty solid, but I think the Rangers are about ready to give up on him maybe because he's already about to hit arbitration soon, and I think we could develop Evan Carter. They need starting pitching bad, so we're going to send them Casey Mize for the rest of the season, and they need a backup catcher badly, so we could send them Jake Rogers for the rest of the season. So we're going to offer them Matt Vierling, who they'll have control of for the next 2 years, and who they could probably develop a little bit better because he's more balanced for less platoon issues, so he could play more often than, than Evan Carter can. We would give them Javier Baez and dump his salary on them because they are dumping the much more expensive salary of Jacob deGrom on us. So if we accept deGrom's huge salary, they have to pay us extra, which is where I feel like we're getting some of that value out of Cole Sands and where we're getting it out of Evan Carter as well. But we are also sending them a replacement for Carter, who is batting .333. He has an .855 OPS in his last 10 games. We're also going to send them a starting pitcher who has been very solid this year. He has a .362 ERA in his last 10 starts, and they're going to pay out the rest of Baez's contract, which I feel like is fair because they're sending us a giant contract in deGrom. Baez this year, 9 at-bats, he has 2 hits, and they're both home runs. I don't care what kind of value that has. I don't want Baez on this team anymore. We need to get a little bit younger with some areas, but I feel like this is a pretty decent deal. I think we're going to get Kumar Rocker instead, because Rocker could be in our AAA. Because getting Cole Sands too, Sands is having a great year. And outside of Sands, there's no bullpen on this team. But I feel like this is a little more fair. I just feel like getting Sands is a little over. Not just that it's overkill, but it makes this trade not as fair, in my opinion. I think with us getting Kumar Rocker, and he could, we could try to develop him for a little bit, and he's a 74. He could easily work his way into our rotation pretty soon. So this is the trade we're going to go with. We're going to get Evan Carter and Kumar Rocker. Kumar Rocker is going to be depth. Evan Carter is going to be kind of on our bench a little bit because I have another trade coming up. We're really not going lower in our budget, but they're getting him, $1 million higher, and they're dumping deGrom, which opens up a spot for a guy like Jack Leiter, who's having a good year in the minors right now. It could open up a spot for Kumar Rocker, but it's going to come at a cost for us to take on the entire deGrom contract. Because sure, Baez is expensive, but Baez has some kind of value still if you look at him the right way, and it's only $23 million. deGrom is 37, and I can't give him any of these ratings back because he's performing horribly. This is not a good year. We're watching the end of deGrom. So, if we're going to take on deGrom and his $37 million, they're going to take on Javier Baez. I feel like this is a fair trade, and we are going to send it through. I really want to do it. I could just get Cole Sands too, but that's ridiculous. Alright, we have to have some sort of punishment here, and that's deGrom. I would like us to not get Kumar Rocker. I would like to get Sands. Hell, I could get Miller with this game's logic, but I just don't think that's smart, especially when, Sands is having a great year. They're not going to get rid of, one of the best duos in baseball. That just doesn't make sense. But I do see them dropping bait on 26-year-old Kumar Rocker. So, we will accept this trade from the Texas Rangers, and we have one more trade coming up. We are making a tough decision to separate with Eric Hiller, 1 year into having him. I don't think we're developing this anytime soon, and we just got a whole lot of other starting pitchers into this system, so I'm fine, letting Hiller go. We are going to give up Monty Matt, who's going to be going over to the Red Sox as well, and Jake Rogers is going to be going over to the Red Sox because they need some kind of catching help with Blake Sabo, and then they also have Joey Bart and Daniel Suzak on that roster, so they're going to have to think of something because this is just... It's three guys who aren't great. One of them isn't defensive, but he's decent with the bat, but he's not performing well. One of them also isn't defensive, but not performing well. So they're going to have a better defensive catcher and somebody who has, at a time this season, hit very well. And he's just on a slump right now. We're going to send them Jake Rogers, Eric Hiller, and Monty Matt. And we could get Cody Bellinger in return. I'm really trying to think about it right now because there's two, there's one, and there's two. If we get another guy, that's another man in our outfield. I don't really want to get rid of Meadows. I would rather find Garcia a home on a team somewhere. So we're going to try to send Garcia to a contender. We could have sent him here to Boston too. But the main reason we're doing this trade is because, one, the Red Sox are in last place in the AL East. They also already have Jose Altuve on contract. They have Jason Dominguez out there. They have Roman Anthony, who needs to come up. They have Cedane Rafaela, who's on an extension. And they have Willie Abreu out here. So it makes sense for them to send their all-star away, who's going to, it's a half-year deal. They're not going to get much for it. But they are going to get a 99 or a high 90s potential lefty and Eric Hiller. They're going to get a, low 80s potential Monty Matt at third base, who has great plate skills already. They just need to develop the bat and the defense a little more. And they're going to get Jake Rogers for the rest of the year. So we are going to be acquiring Cody Bellinger. This is an insane trade deadline so far. I told you we were going all in, and I meant business. All right, Tyler Stevenson we already acquired. We've already acquired Colin Holderman. We've acquired now Kumar Rocker. And we've acquired Jacob deGrom. All right, and we've acquired Evan Carter. But this... Oh, and Nick Lodolo. Don't forget that. But this is the biggest deal of the trade deadline. I'm trying to make them feel a little realistic still, but the Red Sox don't need a catching prospect right now. They need somebody that they could probably extend for cheap, and it would be Jake Rogers. So, we're going to give them Jake Rogers. We're going to give them one of the better starting pitchers in baseball right now in the minor leagues. Eric Hiller has a 2.99 ERA on the year, 14 quality starts. Am I sad to see him go? Yes. Is he going to be ready by the time this franchise is over? Maybe not. And Monty Matt is also pretty good too. So, we are going to be acquiring Cody Bellinger. So, we're going to be revisiting the Pirates for our final trade of the deadline. I didn't know that they were in first place. I assumed they would be lower. I'm sorry, Aiden. But they are in first place right now. 1.5 games up above the Brewers. And this team makes sense. Real Muto's having a great year. Luis Torrens is having a great year. Bednar's having a solid year. Their bullpen's one of the best bullpens in baseball. I mean, it is insane what they're able to accomplish this year right now. And I almost want to send them another bullpen arm just to, help them get in, because I want the Pirates to succeed. But, I mean, this rotation, Skeens, Jones, Keller, the rotation isn't even what's getting them this year, but that's what we're going to be able to offer them. We need a backup catcher and potentially a future catcher, so we're going to be acquiring Edney Rodriguez, who's having a solid year in AAA, and he's just stopped right now. He's not going to be able to play in the majors. And 102 games so far in the majors, he hasn't been great. So we're going to see if we can't develop him at all. So we're going to be giving them Ronaldo Hernandez, who's kind of just a replacement catcher for the backup. They could demote him into the minor leagues, but they would have him long term. And the Pirates, where they lack is power. Not a lot of guys on this team have power on both sides of the plate. I mean, Kevin Newman, no power. Ahmed Rosario, no power. Nick Gonzalez, decent power. I almost want to acquire him to be a bench bat for us. And Lawrence Butler, who is not having a great year in right field. So we're going to send them Adolis Garcia, who has better power, has hit 16 home runs, isn't having the best of seasons. They are in a tight race right now, and they aren't giving up any key pieces. We are only getting 2 minor leaguers from them, so I feel like this is a fair trade. We're going to be sending Adolis Garcia over to the Pirates. It sucks to lose him. I know we finally just saw him do something, but I want a World Series ring. We got swept in the ALCS, and I freaking mean business this year. And we had to waive Garrett Clevenger, unfortunately. The experiment did not work. It's been 29 innings. It just hasn't worked out so far, so that does suck. But I am very excited to see this new roster. We're also going to offer Jackson Jobe a 6-year extension, which buys out all of his arbitration, which should be around $20 million, and we're going to get a discounted year of his free agency, which should be $36 million. He doesn't want it. Okay, well, we're gonna get this done. 113, he accepts it. We have just extended Jackson Jobe as well. What an episode, guys. So what do you guys think about our trade deadline? Were you surprised I went all in like I said I would? Normally I don't like it when YouTubers do all that, but I didn't feel like I acquired prospects for guys who are unrealistic. We did give up, like, a top 100 prospect in one of the trades. We had to take on DeGrom's, entire contract. I feel like we did a lot. I feel like at times we gave up a lot, too. It's a ground ball over to second. The one to first is in time. I feel like it was pretty fair. We did give up, like, a reliever we don't use often. Or, not that we don't use often, but a cost-controlled reliever. Somebody I liked, too, which does suck, but... And to be fair to us, a lot of the guys we acquired are rentals. A lot of guys we got are rentals. Not too many are going to be Major League mainstays for us for multiple years. Lodolo, he's not really a rental, but we only have him for one more year after this. After that, I feel like it's either, Evan Carter, who we could have for a while. Kumar Rocker, maybe we develop him. He's somebody we got. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. We did take on DeGrom's big deal. We got rid of Baez, but Baez had some sort of value on a bench. Just he was stopping ours. DeGrom does not have much value in the bullpen either, or as a starter anymore. He's old, and he's getting paid $37 million. And when he's a 70 overall next year, wow, they're gonna pull Scuball, so we're not able to get it done. But when DeGrom's like a 70 overall next year, we're gonna be paying him multiple, $37 million. The Rangers are only gonna be paying Baez $23 million to be like a bench guy. I feel like it's fair. Lodolo, we might not have after this season. Colin Holderman's cost-controlled, luckily, but we didn't give up a whole lot. Tyler Stevenson could be gone. I mean, we know we'll have Lodolo after this year, but Stevenson could be gone. Cody Bellinger will be gone. Those are some of our biggest acquisitions, Oh, we could jump in with Colin Holderman. Our first look at him with the Tigers. 2 on, 2 down. Colin Holderman on the bump. This would basically be his Tigers' debut. He's at 11 pitches. 2 runners are already on, both in scoring position. We left that sinker in a no-no zone against a guy who could have taken us a yard if he wanted to. A lot of the trades we made, too, were just... I feel like they're pretty fair. We gave the Pirates people they needed, and they had a supplement of good arms in their bullpen. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Down to the last strike. The 2-2. Ooh! Hard foul. We don't love that. Try to locate this sinker on the corner again. The 2-2. Oh! You gotta call him on that! You gotta call him on that. The 3-2 from Colin. Fouled off. We'll do it again. The 3-2. Ball 4 and the bases are juiced. Wow, a bad call leads to the bases being loaded here in the bottom of the 8th. Hopefully we can get Blade out. The first pitch. Called the ball. The 1-0. Called the ball. It might be time to pull Holderman. 2-0. Oh, that's not good. We're not walking in a run, are we? We're going to have to throw some competitive pitches. Oh, you got to give us a strike call there, Blue! Holderman will walk in a run. And our lead is cut to 1. With Junior Caminero at the plate. Yeah, I'm not giving this guy anything to hit. It's Jason Foley time. It is Jason Foley time. Here he is. 2.38 ERA on the year. Managed to stay with us through the deadline. The first pitch. Strike. I threw him in here because he is our highest rated reliever in terms of pitching clutch, who isn't Tyler Holton. I did not feel like making Duvall pitch on, short rest, as we do have a 3-game series coming up after this. The 0-2. Called the ball. 1-2. Swung on it, missed! And the Tigers hang on to the lead here in the 8th. Drew Rasmussen is coming out to close the door on us. And now we get to see our first look at Cody Bellinger. Bellinger lifts one deep into right field and gone! Cody Bellinger's Tigers debut is a solo shot that gives us our run back. What a shot by Belly. We needed that one. I said I wanted a World Series ring. I said I wanted this division. The Royals are getting too much ground between us. I looked at that and I said, no, we're not letting that happen. We're not losing the division again. We're not going to get stuck in the wild card again and be tired by the time we get to the American League Championship Series. I wanted to make sure there were no holes in our team. Last year, the offense, it was shaky in some areas. This year, more of the same thing as Green drills that ball into center field, but it's going to be playable. And out number 2. We still have some main faces of the Tigers here too. What an episode. I hope you guys are enjoying it today. I know I kind of fumbled a little bit with the draft and the All-Star game, and the trade deadline might not have been exactly how I wanted it. This is where I feel more comfortable as in-game speaking, even if I jump my words sometimes. My mouth doesn't move fast enough for my brain. There's something going on in there, I know it. And if you're wondering, Carey is still my favorite player in the series. I'm going to go down looking, while the Tigers get a run back off a Cody Bellinger debut solo shots. Since Jason Foley only pitched 4 times last inning, or only threw the ball 4 times, I'm going to leave him in here a little bit. And I tried to make sure our trades happened with not teams in the hunt giving up pieces that are useful. And I tried to make sure teams that were in the hunt, like the Pirates, acquired something that could be of help to them. Foley searching for that put-away pitch. And which one is it going to be in his repertoire? Fouled off the circle change, and I think McKinstry's just about fouled off everything we have. And when in doubt, Cheddar. He fouled off the cheese at 99! Well, let's break it down a little bit with this slider, the 2-2. Up the middle, and it's a base hit! Zach McKinstry wins this one. And now it's Yandy Diaz time. 2 RBIs already this series, and 2 doubles. I don't want to use another reliever because we have a long stretch of games coming up. So I would like it if Foley could get the job done here. But he's already at 21 pitches. And I think if he doesn't get it done here, we need to call in somebody. The Rays are down to their last strike. And Yandy Diaz is all that remains. The 1-2. Taken for a ball. This is a big issue, this outing from Foley. He's gotten multiple batters in a 2-strike count and hasn't found that put-away pitch yet. Both McKinstry and Diaz are just spitting on everything he's throwing right now. 2-2. Got him swinging, and Foley finally sets him down. The Tigers take this game more convincingly off the bat of newly acquired Cody Bellinger. Reese Olson's going to get the win. What a game. Reese Olson went 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks, while Cody Bellinger gets player of the game in his Tigers debut. He had a home run and an RBI. Jordan Westberg also homered with 2 RBIs today. Riley Green had 2 for 5 on the day, and not a home run, but an RBI and a run. And Spencer Torkelson went 2 for 3. And that'll be all for today's episode. As the next episode, we will be getting through the month of August and September together. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about our trade deadline in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and also check the description because I've now included the complete playlist to the Tigers franchise into the description. I just want to say thank you so much for all the support on this series. I know it's been slowing down a little bit, but I have been personally wanting to ramp up the series because this is my first time ever doing a franchise. So thank you so much for spending your time with me here today. And I had a great 20th episode with you all.